Penn State has many attractions for both students and visitors that can make budgeting your time in one day overwhelming. Here are a few ideas that can make your trip enjoyable and informational. Located in the heart of campus, you can't miss Old Main. Perhaps one of the most recognizable icons at Penn State, Old Main represents a symbol of pride and heritage that has existed at Penn State since its founding. Originally built in 1863, the first Old Main building included everything under one roof, from housing for students and faculty, lecture halls, offices, and a chapel. Since then, it was rebuilt in 1930 to represent what is today's current Old Main. This new Old Main existed as much for students as it did for administrative work, having included space for student organizations and even a sandwich shop. It wasn't until the creation of the Hub in 1955 that Old Main no longer included facilities for students. The Hub is the main student activity center on campus, housing restaurants, a pool hall, study rooms, and student organization offices. The Hub was originally constructed from 1953 to 1955 and has since undergone 2 renovations and expansions. The Hub also houses other key student services, such as the ID office and the computer store. It also houses the student bookstore. However, due to ongoing renovations and expansions, it has been moved to an exterior location. The original Penn State Library was housed in Old Main and held 1,500 books. Today, the Petit and Paterno libraries house more than 5.4 million books. The Petit Library was named after Fred Lewis Petit, professor of English literature and writer of the Penn State alma mater. The Paterno Library is dedicated to the late football coach Joe Paterno, who raised almost $14 million and donated millions of his own money to enhance Penn State's library. The Lion Shrine is the most photographed and visited site on the Penn State campus. The lion was a gift from the class of 1940 and was finished by Heinz Wernicke in 1942. The shrine remains a popular location for graduating students to have their pictures taken at. However, it was once vandalized in 1966 by Syracuse fans when they covered the lion in orange oil paint. It was again vandalized in 1978 when it was hit by a blunt object and the ear was knocked off. Due to these occurrences, it is now guarded by ROTC students before every home game. Penn State's business building is the most important building in the Schmiel Business Program. It is ranked as the best business school in the country by the Princeton Review. It contains a 4-story atrium, MBA classrooms, common areas, and program areas for advising and career development for students. It also contains a cafe-style restaurant and a Starbucks where students can meet and hang out. Beaver Stadium is home to the Nittany Lions football team. The original location of football games was Beaver Field, located between the Osmond and Freer Lab buildings, and it only seated 500 fans. In 1909, Beaver Field was moved close to where Rec Hall currently stands to an upgraded stadium with a capacity of 30,000 fans. Finally, in 1960, it was moved to its current location on the east side of campus. After several renovations and expansions, the home of the Nittany Lions is now the second largest stadium in the country and holds 106,572 screaming fans. Come home game Saturdays, tailgaters surround the stadium in the adjacent parking lots in what seems to be a never-ending crowd of Penn State fans. The Bryce Jordan Center was built on January 6, 1996. The building holds 16,000 people and hosts many different events. The BJC is the home of the men's and women's basketball team, and it also hosts many different events such as concerts and holds the largest event at Penn State called Thon. Thon is a 46-hour dance marathon held to raise money for pediatric cancer and is the largest student-run event in the country. It also holds many different job fairs for Penn State students in both the spring and fall. The Pegula Ice Rink was made possible due to an $88 million gift made to the university by alum and multi-billionaire Terry Pegula, owner of the Buffalo Sabres NHL franchise. The advent of this new arena caused Penn State to officially join Division I NCAA play. Upon joining Division I, the Big Ten was able to form its own hockey conference of 6 teams: Penn State, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State. Before you leave Penn State, be sure to visit the Creamery. The Creamery has been a Penn State tradition since 1896, and during hot summer days and home football weekends, it is characteristic to see a long line of people waiting outside to try some of the Creamery's fresh-made ice cream. The Creamery houses 2 large freezers, which can produce up to 250 gallons of ice cream per hour, and with a turnover time of only 4 days from the time the milk was taken from the cow and put into your cone, the Creamery offers some of the freshest tasting ice cream you'll find anywhere. This video is by no means a comprehensive list of the attractions at Penn State, but we hope you found it helpful in planning your trip to our university. And remember, we are
Penn State!